training the pattern masters and sewers to save fabric during the production process, and use environment-friendly fabrics such as organic cotton, linen, jute, and hemp. Excess fabric segregation for earlier recycling and the channel for responsible disposal includes the recyclers that make handmade paper and other product from recycled cotton and other textile material. Additionally, our factories have a rainwater harvesting system in place that collect and recycle rainwater for groundwater recharging. Our factories are using 100% GRS certified polycotton, polyyarn, and fabric, 100% GRS certified plastic packaging like hangers, polybags, tag pins, upcycling of packaging waste, and factory rejects waste, and better water management. Optimization of water use, internal water recycling, reduce MLR of dyeing machines. The use of minimum possible temperature for processing, better insulation, training on energy efficiency at operator levels. On energy footprints, units are using solar powered facilities for their electricity generation. Units have replaced their entire lighting system with LED, which leads to significant amount of energy savings. On social compliance front, they are promoting community engagement and general welfare initiatives to ensure the social upliftment of our employees, and have policies against child labor, forced labor, and sexual harassment, and do fair trade practices. So the garment industry in Jaipur is thankful to AEPC also to take this step further and strengthening ensure wider adoption of these measures by garment industry at large. Here sincerely appreciate the Sustainability Roadshow organized by AEPC in collaboration with BSL in 2022. The initiative aimed at handholding our garment units with demonstrations and solutions, and made us aware about the policy already in place by Rajasthan government. I am happy to reinforce to the garment industry today that Rajasthan state government supports us for sustainable production in terms of audit, water conservation, energy conservation, setting up effluent treatment plants, setting up zero liquid discharge and related technologies, cleaner production, and support for renewable clean energy. Some of the supports from the Rajasthan government is as below. Like water conservation audit, they give 50% up to rupees 2 lakh per unit. Energy conservation is almost free, supported by SIDBI. Water conservation capex support is 50% up to 10 lakh rupees per unit. Energy conservation capex support is up to 50% consent fee waiver under Rajasthan green rating system by Rajasthan state government. Modern energy efficient machinery, if we are putting up, we get 15% subsidy under RIPS. For setting up ETPs, 50% of the project cost up to maximum of 10 crores supported by Rajasthan state government. For setting up zero liquid discharge, 50% of the project cost, maximum up to 1 crore supported by the Rajasthan government. The capital equipment required by cleaner production, 50% of the cost of equipment, maximum up to 1 CR is supported by the government. For rooftop solar, 50 to 90% of the project cost, maximum up to 8.55 lakhs, supported by Ministry of Textile, Government of India for the power loom units having up to 8 looms. Non-collateral funding at a very low rate of interest without any collateral, supported by SIDBI. So I'm sure with the efforts of all the stakeholders in this ecosystem from AEPC, government, brands, retailers, manufacturers, and support from GARE, our members will be able to make its mark on sustainability. So we all should come forward in their lives and organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the enlightening and motivational speech. Your insights have truly captivated us, providing a fresh perspective. Now, as we delve into the foundation of APL sustainability, Ms. Catherine will provide us with valuable insight into how the principles of environmental, social, and governance are being integrated within the APL industry. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Catherine to the stage as she presents an overview of ESG and its critical role in shaping the future appeal sustainability.
Thank you. Dr. Shaktivel, it's again my honor to be sharing this special evening with you here in Jaipur. It's the first time for me in Jaipur, and it's an extreme honor to be on stage also with the president of GEAR, Zakir Hussain, and also Ravi Padar. Thank you so much for meeting tonight in this great opportunity and occasion. And since last week, it's my pleasure also to be traveling together with the CEO of AMHSSC and Amit. Think it's a pleasure to be with the whole team. Together with Anshal and the team from AMHSSC, it's so good to work together and cooperate. And also, we heard like here, our Blue Sign colleagues from India, thank you so much for this team effort that we're having in the last days and month to set up this e-learning program for whole India, for the textile and apparel industry. And Dr. Shaktivel is a visionary. He is really fantastic in seeing what is to come and what it needs for the exporters to stay on top and to be staying successful exporters and even growing the business. So this is why probably he took the effort to come to Switzerland last year to meet and find out more about the company Blue Sign. And if our company is worth it to be working together. And I'm delighted to say that in the last over technologies, and it's a company who has written on our hearts. So it's really our mission and vision to clean industry's impact for our people, for the workers, but for the company areas where we're in. So we are doing that since a quarter of a century. It's 25 years that Blue Sign is doing together with companies that we are working with in environmental aspects and for the people, for the workers. But let me say that the men and the owners, they benefit from what they and really bringing work value and benefit company apart, creating cleaner outside also. So that is one thing that the buyers are being more and more requested to see and know their suppliers because of the regulations that are. Shaktivel saying that he mentioned that there is a digital product path soon and regulations US where at one point in time the regulations they say which is around the corner when we see what time it takes to implement good practices and trees to maybe change solar panels or really we all sustainability is a process. It takes the willingness from to do in terms of sustainability, and it's not a anymore. So this ESG acronym, environment, social governance, has become that strong because they use ESG to rate their investments, to know where they want to invest. And in industry, we want to implement that, which is actually the reason why AMHSSC and Bluesign collaborate on this, of course. Of course, session pick apart the topic ESG. What does it mean? What does it mean to implement ESG into your companies? And that is part of the course. And there are several chapters that are that you are being introduced, and you can use not only for yourself, for the middle management maybe, who are very practical, implementing technologies, new techniques, but also thinking of how we could restructure companies in the best possible way. And the return on investment, the savings, we see that over the last years with our system partners who work with us, they have the savings in a financial, because you invest, you want to see the return on investment. And here, even if it's like a process, like the tree will need time and water to grow, but the return on investment is big, and it's needed. And this is, having said that, I would like to jump into the, picture. Let me see. I quit some slides. Hello? The PowerPoint. So, because I would like to, yeah, we go into the course timetable later. There are several chapters that we take. And dear gentlemen, ladies, dear gentlemen, I give you an insight of the content of the course by inviting Mr. Somsun as Bluesign Academy within India to the people, together with, for instance, and the Bluesign Academy, also in charge of contact with the regulations, to be on top of every regulation. They work together on the content of this class. Content is really there to give us the possibility to do the same thing, to train our people to in order to know what to do. So to skill up the companies, and even enlarge and understanding for the Indian textile industry. This is why we are traveling in several of India in the textile areas and doing this awareness program, because we think it has to be India as a nation that is on our terms of reputation globally, that is being improved. Like, we want the global buyers, and that's why let's say Bluesign as a Swiss company, you could have maybe taken an Indian company who is more into, who is into sustainability or specific social aspects. But no, Bluesign is a total sustainability solution provider for the last 25 years, for a quarter of a century. It's on our banner to bring the best and most practical solutions into the companies. Our company is holding engineers, chemical engineers. Myself, I'm a textile engineer. So we are like engineers, a bunch of people, experts that work together with global companies and find what is the best ways to improve. And we want to share that, and a part we share in the course as well. So Mr. Somsundran, if you mind, please let us know a bit of the class's content.
distinguished dignitaries on the dais and fashion business leaders of the dais. Very good evening, and thank you for being here and giving a very solid support to AMHSC Blue Sign and the Gear initiative on this ESG awareness program. And the intent and focus of this program basically to narrow down the skill deficit in the middle level and your operating level, the organization. Because as a business leader, CEOs, decision makers, you have a very thorough understanding and a clarity on sustainability as well as on the ESG terms. But down the line, your organizational chart, your managers, executives, they should also have the clarity and they should understand the purpose of adopting this as a movement in your organization. Thereby, the entire system will work together. Maybe so far we've been doing the environmental aspect separately and the social aspect separately, and the governance part, of course, through associations. They've been doing a lot, but now it's a time to integrate all those things. As our CRM head, Ms. Katharina told, Blue Sign will bring in the total sustainability solutions to the organization in terms of the reporting, without missing any elements and aspects of this ESG part. And you know very well that when buyer talks to us and we talk to our people in organizations, so there are a lot of myths, misinterpretation, misconceptions, different meanings and their understanding. So first of all, our course will do away with all the misconceptions and misinterpretation, making very, very clear in terms of ESG. And they will make our course will make your people understand thoroughly every terms. If you don't do that, actually, the lack of definitions and the clarity, many a time the subordinate will not understand your rationale behind you are adopting ESG in your organization, and they do delay in the process, and thereby we will be missing the marketing opportunity as well. And the course will make the learners, your managers, executives, the art, science, and profession part of it, and they will, while practicing it, finally adopting to achieving no misleading claims. Thereby, your buyer will be very happy, and it's all resonating to the seeing the smile in the face of the last mile customer of our clothes. We make in Jaipur, we make in Tirupur, but all over the globe, they will wear very proudly. And the customer smile will bring more business once again. And in the process, it makes them more ethical and also responsible. And we'll be the proud leaders of the business with claiming that we are responsible producers of garments the world can wear. And in the session 1, introduction to sustainability, the clarity term will be there, and we will classify the impact in terms of environment, social, and economy, that is governance part. And also we will outline the key principles of sustainability and the premise on which you can build upon the entire ESG ecosystem. And in session 2, it talks about the historical perspective and the evolution of the fashion industry, and since World War II, how the independent manufacturing units all become clusters, and mass production and mass merchandising later become mass marketing. And today we are all customers of e-commerce. But in the process, what happened? Many the supply chain partners end up using the overconsumption of the resources, not only the natural, even the fossil fuel based fibers and the synthetic man-made fibers, everything. And in the changing times and changing trends, we end up bothering of lot of ecosystems and environmental aspects. So to get a better perspective on the clear, safe environment, eco-friendly, our chairman was outlining very clearly that in last so many years they've been adopting tree planting and all those things will definitely complement and bring the complete business system in a very responsible way. In the session 3, we'll be talking more about sustainable fibers and inputs, and we will giving you the solution. Your learners will get the alternate fibers and do away with the forever chemicals, that is hazardous chemicals and harmful chemicals, and what are the approved chemicals and material can be used. Thereby you will not have any misleading information to your buyer, and the buyer will be happy that you are giving a very responsible product. Session 4 will talk about eco-friendly textile processes, and we give you the best inputs on the best available technique, very popularly called BAT all over the world. And it will end up, making you aware of the low impact chemicals, dyeing techniques, methods, including the plasma dyeing and dope dyeing kind of things. And session 5 will outline about the impact and footprint assessment, where we have Bluesign as a 20 years company have a very strong expertise and R&D team. So every data collected on that, the environmental and sustainability performance indicators will be analyzed, and we will give you the better input on that, and also how you can help you reduce on the footprint, carbon footprint. Thereby you will be acquiring and securing lot of carbon credit in the future, which will be a much more return on investment, which we cannot really imagine at this point of time. And the assessment will cover the area of greenhouse gases, emissions, water, energy, and water pollutant sources, textile waste, inside, outside factories and the supply chain, and also the chemistry involved in that entire process will be covered. And we will also embed the principles of life cycle assessment and also the circularity. In fact, people are now thinking of moving from linear to loop production methodology, gate to gate and cradle to and all. No, already we are aware of it, and which will be covered very thoroughly there. And session 6 will talk about the chemical hazardous material management, and we believe in that the input stream management will be very better, because we get first time right. That is the principle we adopt. In fact, of course, we draw this the techniques and tools from other industry, but the textile industry, where the first time right is the best principle, and for which Bluesign strives for that input stream management. And all the non-hazardous chemicals and alternative materials will help you to bring in the very beautiful, valuable, responsible products for you, your customer, and the customer also sustained in the future. And the session 7 will cover social and ethical aspects, including that ethical trading agreements we signed. Many people would have done independently, but now we are integrating within our system. Thereby, the fair labor practices, workplace conditions, acceptable, sustainable manpower, building and capacity building, and health, safety, welfare, and the conscious workforce development will be governed in that. And which are all the way by which we will make people understand that we are manufacturing ethical garments and conscious garment, of course. And the session 8 will be talking about what are the regulations already there and which are all the upcoming regulations. Dr. Saktivel sir explained about the digital product passport, and madam explained about this. And in Europe Union and the US, the passport will be the key to open market opportunities. And apart from that, EU CSR, that corporate social responsibility directives, supply chain due diligence directives, OECD guidance directives for responsible organizations, the GRA and other things. And finally, giving you the complete understanding on the environment, social, and economy, that is triple bottom line approach. Thereby, the reporting formats and the structure and how your team will be equipped to resonate with the buyer's demand, and also it will give you the complete standing, your company standing in terms of ESG ranking and scores, and making you all partner in the country's prosperity and industry prosperity as well as the society's prosperity. And we are very happy that AMHSC is kind enough to provide us an opportunity to delve with them on very elaborately on this courses, and we have a lot of deliberation on this, and finally we come out with 8-week sessions, which will be in fact very beneficial to all of you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you for this enlightening insight on the classes. It's maybe a little bit overwhelming, the content. So what we know is that it's important to have live sessions as well, where we can have questions and answers and really delve into the nitty-gritty to learn also from you where you could use more support in implementing the things that you learn in the classes. So especially when we talk about the later sessions like sustainability reporting, for instance, in the tea association, like Tea Report Exporters Association, we are in discussion with the tea to provide a sustainability impact report for the association that they could use in order to show the buyers about their performance. And the special thing here is that we take the companies, the members, we cooperate with the members on the impact service on a company level, where we collect or support the companies in collecting, measuring, maybe sometimes calculating the right environmental key performance indicators in order to then gear the sustainability report of the tea association up with the basically substantiating the report with numbers. Because, for instance, we heard about the regulations that there are, like Green Claims Directive. So sooner or later, it will not be enough anymore to just state, okay, we are turning green, but you need to substantiate numbers about your savings. So Mr. Ravi Podar has given us some numbers that about the exporters, right? But what we will support you with then is like giving you the possibility to have verified data in terms of your actions in sustainability activities. And this is what you need to talk to the buyers sooner or later. This is what you need to have to walk the steps direction to digital product passport, because the production side data, which we would support you to gather in the impact partnership, is the basis to deliver sooner or later a product together with the data. Give me some smiles or some like reaction. Okay, so this is really the point. So we say, first of all, we skill up the Indian textile industry to make it understandable what it means ESG implemented into the textile industry of India. And then we say, if you want to take the next step, go for the impact service, where we support you on the ESG EKPI, environmental key performance indicators, reporting on a company level. And then we go on the product certification within the system partnership. But that's always up to you, like how you want to be supported. You can also come to us as AMHSSC and say, dear AMHSSC, Dr. Yadav, we need another e-learning course in this specific area because we need more knowledge there. That's also a possibility. But that's something that we are also cooperating and working on. Thank you so much for listening and for being here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, to sharing your insights. Now, we are honored to have Mr. Amit Singh, Joint Director of Apparel Made Ups and Home Furnishing Sector Skill Council with us today. Mr. Singh will be addressing three crucial topics in his PPT. Mr. Singh will discuss knowledge adoption and practical implementations in business routines, sign up procedure, and course timetable. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Singh. Can we have you on the dais for your presentation, please? Everyone, can we have a huge round of applause?
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to welcome you all to this pivotal program jointly organized by AMHSSC and Blue Sign. And I would like to thank Katharina and Mrs. Som for explaining the course beautifully. As we delve into today's program, let's draw inspiration from our honorable members who have not only strengthened the apparel industry, but also they are taking us into the future by improving the sustainable practices. Uh, Presentation. Yeah. So we are privileged to honor Padma Shri Dr. A. Shaktivel, esteemed chairman AMHSSC. His leadership has been an instrumental in shaping this initiative and taking us to the step in future to get ready for sustainable practices and a greener future. We also thrilled to welcome Ms. Katharina Mayer, whose unwavering commitment to sustainable practices and textile and apparel has set new benchmarks in environmental stewardship. We at AMHSSC believe in the process skilling, not only the product skilling, but process skilling. That's how we have approached on the course curriculum, and we are into making the processes for ESG principles as well. So whether it is Ecotex, whether it is GOTS, whether it is Higgs Index, each and every part can be covered with a single course with the Blue Sign expertise in technical safety and sustainability, addressing the entire textile supply chain from soil, from the farmer till the supplier and till the consumer. So the brands are also involved and the farmer is also involved. So entire traceability is being touched upon. Before briefing you to the course, what we have to address upon. What is sustainability? What is ESG? It is not a buzzword, but it is a serious issue. It enhances the brand reputation, it attracts incentives, and it is great for Mother Earth and environment. So these are the compliances which we are looking onto for ESG. Carbon emissions, air and water pollution, deforestation, employee gender and diversity, and the diversity of board members and fair labor practices. Why we are doing this? This is 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are completely linked with each other. And we have taken all in account and made this course so that we can, implement this into the apparel industry. This is the environmental impact of the apparel industry. The water pollution and the carbon emissions are huge. The numbers are alarming here. 99% of the apparel can be regenerated. So, as Dr. Shaktivel has also already said that the water can be reused, the clothes and the apparel can also be reused, and we have to work on it. These are the regulations and compliances which in near future exporters may have to face and may have to, they are at risk for apparel industry and the business. REACH EU Ecolabel Waste Frame Directive, Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. Mr. Som has already explained what is the uh, of these regulations. So, sitting at 17 billion Indian apparel industry not complying just here is the data for entire, let's say, entire sectors, which is hit. The revenue has been hit for all the sectors and major steel industry. So it is coming for the, let's say, we see the phrase Rome was not built. So we have to first invest in the partial investment, and then after full, it will be a 10 to 15% increase, and strengthen will increase, and those orders which were gone all to the competitive and the countries will come to India and greener factories. The benefits, energy efficient practices, which will save cost by 15%, revenue growth, premium can be charged on greener products, fair labor, as we can on one retailer by, so we have to, and the governance, investor funding can be attracted through market access initiative, green conformity certificate can be, and we have already attracted $51.1 billion for the. Here is the introduction to foundation sustainability. It is an 8 go into the structure of the course as it has been already by Mr. Som and Katharina. So this is a phase which will be, it is run by Blue Sign Academy. You will be given an individual account. You can sign in to the course. It is reasonably priced, 39.99 the course, having 8 weeks and 5 live sessions. I will not go into the details. It's already been explained by Mr. Som. Answer sessions from live experts, we can get into 1 hour session, and if the query is answered, we can extend these live sessions till the query has been answered. Why join our initiative? Manufacturing from taking these compliances of non-compliant, increasing, making them a responsible and a responsible. What is the benefit? Sustainable source action, fair labor practices, employee policies, and who should attend? I think everybody should attend who is getting into the and risk for the future and visionary for the future, improving the apparel industry and the environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have with us on the stage, and now you can ask question or anything what you like about today's session, or you can share your insights. Anyone who would any question with our experts, because now
So one thing is, or nothing. What I should take it as a.
I think as this. I think everything is clear, and while Miss Catherine was saying that she's not looking any over there, we all worried that one another in terms of this sustainability, who will bear that? This is a question, sir.
No, this is the question is asked. Now there are no two ways. Two ways, because European with the regulation. Already, the steel industry and industry is going through. It has to be borne by the buying customers. Cost will decrease, but you have seen that some announcement by our honorable minister, there'll be some fund for green. The same way, request minister, what are expenses which is not productivity for our industry by the government. And you also take it up with the gear. We will also take it up with the APC. But ultimately, as yesterday chairman said, APC, there is no other go. We have to do it. But we'll find the means and can support our industry to cost compliance. Another thing that once you do this, of Amit, your cost will, to some extent, will come down also. With the windmill, with the solar, so your electricity bill will come down. So you have to see all the ways, and ultimately, as I said in my speech, save earth for our children. That is what in Tirupur, why you have taken that much initiative to do the recycling of plastic so much. It is sometimes it is 10 to 15 rupees. Kilo it is 10 to 15 rupees. But ultimately, we have to protect Tirupur. We have to protect our future generation. Let us have a thinking that we are doing a service. Now we have seen environment issues, abnormal rains, abnormal temperature, and that Dubai face continuous rain, which city Dubai has never faced that. And Dubai is always very careful in everything. They do precaution things, but anything. Same thing happening. So we should be part of protecting the earth. So the we will definitely work in AMHSSC and also here how to get maximum support, I can say, from the government. We cannot take subsidy, but some support because government also has equal responsibility also. So we'll do our best.
And there are internationally there are, for instance, impact in the US, where they give to implement services that reduce the environmental impact. So, for instance, we have this solution from Apparel Impact. Nice Blue Sign is one of the providers to reduce together with the companies the impact. Sir mentioned CO2 footprint is one aspect, but there are, I want to say is there are global initiatives that give funding for implementation of sustainability within the companies. And for instance, like the impact service from Blue Sign, yes, you pay for this. You also to understand where your biggest potential is within the, because if you use less water, you save. If you use less chemicals, you save. If you use less energy or the right in the long term, money. So that's also like not to forget, not only the investment, the
Everybody, can we have a huge round of applause, please?
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Since you have been, doing this, yourself and ask the question. I am from media, by the way. I am not any manufacturer of garments, so I am little curious to know actually how much of what is the the revenue, what is the percentage of revenue that would be required to meet these specifications. If you can give us some idea about it, so that the manufacturers can think of it. So that would. Thank you for the question. It's depends upon the unit to unit. See, suppose somebody produces only 1,000 garments per day, and only is manufacturing only the garments, then for them it's less, because they buy the cloth from outside, and they don't have to invest much. But if you have a vertical unit, buying spinning mill to processing to making the embroidery or prints, so that all will cost you more. But initially, the idea is you have to invest. There is no other go. But that investment will also help you out in long run to reduce your manufacturing cost. Does these certified products fetch better rates? Of course, he has given in presentation that it will have a 15 to 20% better rate than what you are selling now. Is there so, for example, now the exporter sells organic cotton garments. Organic cotton garments and ordinary cotton garments, there is a 25% price for the organic cotton. So definitely the buyers will give what the consumer who's going to buy it will also give, because another thing, if you don't do it, I don't have an investment, then nobody will buy it from you. Your production will get stopped. The regulation, everybody has to follow. I can't say that I will not follow. That if you don't follow, then you cannot sell your product. The buyer will not buy your product.
There are countries where you sooner or later cannot even export anymore when you don't have the data on the product. And in order to have the data on the product, you need the data on the production side first. And this is why I see Dr. Shaktivel kind of nervous or getting emotional about it, no? Because in the end, it's like the question ultimately will be, can you give the data on the product or not? And if not, in some countries, like European countries, you will not be able to do the exports anymore, because and that's why we stress so much on the regulations that are on the directives, regulations that are coming. But for now, you can prepare for the tiger to arrive, basically.
So one more, I was a little curious to understand, the value chain is so scattered. So how do you ensure that all parts of the value chain trying to get the certification? That's the traceability is the mantra now. So where you buy the yarn and what kind of a yarn, where now already that Texpros has taken that initiative. From yarn to fabric, there is a traceability is already there. So it has to be coming to the system. Whereas that if you become a blue sign partners, definitely they will do the complete testing, and they will certify, yes, this product is completely environment social governance is met. There are also processes where it involves the whole the cluster or so there are some collective areas where how that can be addressed when you. As I said, in Tirupur we have a cluster approach, and Jaipur also can have a cluster approach. So the cluster approach always will help benefit the exporters, that we can all share suppose there is a bill you can put. Suppose you are putting a solar energy. So 10 people of 10 companies of Jaipur can put the solar energy. Let's say that we are protect the energy consumption. So it can be done for cluster only. As I said, it can be done in Delhi or Bombay, but it can be done in Jaipur. Do you think the industry can convince the ministry, the textile ministry, to help those clusters who are willing to take on these challenges? Yes, it's a joint effort. I already told Ms. Jagir to meet the minister next week. APC is already doing it. We are already doing it. It's a joint approach to approach the government. And state government also now, they started giving some kind of support for when you put the effluent plant, they are giving a 25% capital subsidy for a carbon effluent plant, not individual one. That's why I said cluster approach will help you out to do this.
Thank you so much, sir. Anybody else like to ask something?
Hi. So when we procure like scraps or waste fabric from consumer end and all, if we upcycle or recycle it, how can like we get the CO2 emission or that CO2 number? How can we track that? Like I've seen so many products that say by using this you have reduced like 2% of or 5% of carbon emission. If we want to put those things like we are doing upcycling and recycling, so how will we get that magical number?
Okay, Dr. Anvita is your name?
Yes.
You're not
yes.
introduced, but she is introducing you to me.
Thank you.
Now you can introduce yourself.
So, I'm Dr. Anvita. I have PhD in textiles
Dr.
and apparel
Anvita,
designing.
see this circularity is the another buzzword in the ESG result. So we already in about 7 months back, our Honorable Prime Minister wore a jacket. It's a recycled fabric produced jacket that our Prime Minister was wearing it. It was sold all over the world. That is jacket is produced in Karur in Tamil Nadu. So whatever the recycled people, fabric manufacturer or a recycled yarn manufacturer will have some identification. That's why I said when you have a recycled fabric or recycled yarn used, blue sign will come into the picture. They will go through the complete your fabric used for the manufacturing of garments. They will test it and they certify yes, it's a recycle and it's good for the skin or the environment.
But Dr. Avinta, it's a similar question to when our system partner companies come to us and ask like, okay, when we use recycled fabrics, how are we going to know that there are no hazardous substances inside? When we don't know the origin of the fabric, it's difficult to know, because if we would know the origin of the fabric, we know the chemical inventory list, we can know the chemicals and know the substances that are inside the chemicals. For recycled fabrics and the carbon footprint on a recycled fabric, we would need to know the production side data, carbon footprint emission, like CO2e equivalent emissions of this facility first, obviously. And once we have implemented the impact service on a company level and you source from these companies, you buy the fabrics that are that are to be recycled then, from there we have a good chance to have the carbon footprint on the company, on the fabric that where we know the company. So it's easy when we know the mills, right?
Thank you.
Dr. Anvita, you are already in recycling business. So you should be the first to register with the blue sign and get the certificate.
Yes, thank you.
What is happening, all my fellow exporter, I just want to make them understand, especially looking at the program, that the gravity and sincerity of this program is such high that if buyer will implement, any buyer will implement that you have to be sustainable, otherwise they won't do the business. So, that kind of a threat is coming in, as you said, 2027. After 2027, nobody can export to EU or other countries. So this is a wonderful platform. If you have any query, if you have any kind of a hesitation in terms of getting our factories compatible to the program, what we are doing now. So I think we should ask the question, whatever question is there apart from the cost, because the cost is eventually will be beared by the buyer, or the cost of the product will go on a product. So I will request all of you, if you have any questions, any query, because later or sooner, the child is already born. You have to arrange money for his marriage, for his study, everything. So the things is coming on your path. So please study and get your factory these kind of program oriented. Yeah, and join that 8-week course, as Dr. Shakti will says. So that will initiate you starting at least.
Very good point. Yeah, the course is the basis to the understanding of the how. Okay, so really the course that gives you insight what aspects are being covered in all these sustainability topics, and then it's upon yourselves, upon your companies, when and how you can afford to start with the implementation on a company level with the impact service. And again, as Sir said, there is like intrinsic motivation or the external motivation, the push from the buyers. But again, sustainability as a journey, you need some time also to implement into your companies. And this time, we rather use it now, starting with the course. You can get informed. You don't have to rush through it. And it's good to let it settle, to digest also.
Even in the course of 8 weeks, you have a PA session, question and answers. It will be live session also will be there. So what are the questions you have, you can ask for it. And actually the first the course fees was at 80,000. But we both, Blue Sign and AMHSSC said, we reduce the cost, give the cost price. So we have come to the 39,999, like a beta price. So 39,999 is the course fee. And there are some internal agencies, Mr. Somasundaram, and we have one Mr. Perisami. We are working with the Ministry of Textile as external agencies to fund some of these courses, some of the projects. So we are trying all the ways. It's not that we just put all the burden to exporters, but as a council, as a APC, as a association, so everybody should try, get the maximum support from the outsourcing the fund for the establishing these units. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. Myself Sumit. I'm from Blue Sign team. So, I don't have a question. Sorry. It's stand up. Okay. Okay. So basically, it's not a question. It's a thought which I would like to have views from the entire, gathering here. So basically, to me, sustainability and ESG is more of a responsibility, right? Right. And when I say responsibility is on both sides of this spectrum. While buyer says, I want to do a conscious buying, is this the time where we as a seller or as an exporter want to do conscious selling? You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, if my buyer wants to buy product, they will ask you for all the sustainability certifications, right? What's your progress compared to last year? Similarly, as an exporter or as a supplier, are we in a position to really check whether my customer or the customer whom I'm targeting, they have made any progress last year? So your views, because good to hear from you. Will that time will come, or are we in a position to really think about it? Because that's the only way we can bring the change. So.
In terms of buyers, you need to tell them. I don't think as of now we are that much compatible.
Now, thing is, now, as I said in my speech, we have requested Blue Sign already to approach the buyers. So once the buyers recognize the Blue Sign label, then that means the buyers are agreeable. When the Blue Sign label is there, they will totally believe you. Because Blue Sign is one organization which is internationally recognized. And as I said, it's a sister concern of HGS. And already all the buyers, they recognize the HGS certificate. The same way they will recognize the blue sign also. And as I said, of course, there'll be a cost involved. See, as a commercial, as a exporter, we think how to get the more price, whatever we spend. So that also education will be done by the blue sign also to the buyers. When they're going for this ESG, they have to have some cost. So the buyer also will understand. And also the government EU, who is going to bring this regulation, they will also advise, unless otherwise you have this label, ESG compliance oriented, don't buy the garments. So then people of Europe and UK will know that when you are buying this garment, we have to pay a little more. But as I said, last 2 years, you see only the save earth, save planet, environment friendly, skin friendly, uh, uh, use less water, less energy. So everybody knows in the world. Now see, why the electric vehicles have come, it's a costly to buy, but now we buy the electrical vehicle because we save the cost in the operation wise. So same thing that we install the factories with the windmill and solar, definitely our power consumption will come less. As my own factory, I put solar as well as windmill. Now my power consumption cost is 50%. I used to pay 8, 9 rupees. Now I pay only 4 rupees. So same way that everybody has to think that way, that we, of course, there is an investment cost that it will get reduced in long run. Any more question? I think Jan want to ask something.
Yeah, something please ask.
Give the mic, please.
Sir, can somebody introduce that how the course, 8-week course, how it will be operated? Whether monthly?
It's online. It's an online course.
Yeah, online, but how many hours per day or weekly it will be conducted?
So every module is 35 minutes. It's a self-paced learning. You will be assessed after each and every session. There are 8 modules per week, and afterwards, whenever there are after 2 weeks, there will be question and answer session where you can get your queries resolved, and whatever queries are there, any inputs from your side as well that can be given into the course, that can also be basically a brainstorming session, we can say, because we are also evolving and the course. So it's just a foundation course. Implementation and each and everything will be given as an exposure to processes. It's not exactly going into the details of it. Details we will, after evolving into the another course, we'll go into that also.
So basically, you get access, you get your personalized access to the online platform. And every week there is a new course being released, and you can take that online e-learning session. It's an interactive video, so you can watch it, you can pause it, you have a check questions in the end of the video, so it's like kind of interactive, so that it's not being boring. And you have one session every week, and then after 2 weeks there is a live session together with the experts where you can ask your questions.
See, let us frankly admit this online course is a experience for us also. So what are the outcomes from the students of this online course will educate us to improve further. So let me admit that your question is valid. So this online course is not done anywhere. It's the first time that we are going to do it, and all your inputs will taken care of it. So suppose it's necessary, instead of 8 weeks, we have to extend by 3-4 days or 1 week. We'll definitely do with the same cost. That much I can assure you that. And once this first course is done, then second, third course will be easy for us. So for us also is learning. So please educate us whatever you need. Yeah.
Hello. And adding to this particular point, there is another consideration which in the time to come will incorporate, the new avenues which comes from the part of the knowledge after the course is completed. So that thing will cover as an RPL tool to increment the or enhancement of the knowledge beyond what we are offering in this 8-week program. So that also will come as a add-on later on. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. This is Sumit. Do we have any current data? How many percentage of products are currently produced ESG compliant? And what is the share of India export in that? Any number? No?
I can boldly say the product produced in Jaipur and Tirupur are ESG oriented. So let the buyer says no to it. But once that regulation comes, we will try to incorporate whatever they say. See, we are already doing it. It's not that we want to spoil there. We already started. Zero discharge is there in Jaipur. Otherwise, you don't get the processing done. So started it than any other country. So I can. That's what I boldly say. Goods produced in Jaipur and Tirupur are already ESG covered compliance.
And T will have like blue sign impact partners to verify the data, because that's claiming and blue sign would verify that.
Same thing, gear can join with the blue sign, and blue sign will verify the data, what are the governance you are taking care of. So your association will produce all the evidence. So to what extent that social governance is managed in Jaipur. And I want to tell you one thing, the person who questioned you, me, stand up, Mr. Smith. No, Smith. Not no, Agrawal. So what I want to tell you that he is the in charge of blue side. So he is questioning me as a blue side person. So he is going to answer all your questions, even online, at Somasundaram. So Sanoj also is in charge. So the three are the blue side person in India. So they just want to test me that what is that thing they are going to do it. No, in a lighter way. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, sir, and everybody, thank you so much.
One more question. Yeah, let the question come.
Sir, I am Jitendra from Pink City Export, and I'm thinking once the course is completed, we may need again help when we are in process of establishing this all setup to get final output. So once the course has established, once the course has completed, is there any establishment or a process where we can get the help in middle of the process when we are doing it?
Of course. See, the thing is, if you are attending the course, you know where are the weakness in your factory. So that weakness can be filled up by the blue sign, advising you don't buy this chemical, don't do this, don't do that. So that the impact service will help you out. The second step. We'll all help you out. That's what it is.
Thank you, sir. Secondly, we may also need the list of suppliers who is,
Already
competent
we
with
go to blue sign website. There are 850 chemical industries are there. All the partners of blue signs also there in the website.
Yeah, and then any consultant also?
There are also like 120 brands who are globally basically system partner, Bluesign system partner, and they want Bluesign approved fabrics. But that's the third step. So first is the online course to be geared up, to understand, increase the understanding. Second would be impact service on the company level. And third is the system partnership on company level, and then product certification. And for instance, the 100 for the digital passport, exactly. And for the 120 brands who are Bluesign system partner, up to now, some of them would not source in India because of the reputation, and we want to change that. That's why we say it's important to change the perspective of the global buyers on the Indian textile industry, because the ones that are partnering with Bluesign, they are like brands who are like very I call them the sophisticated. And they are like very much into environmental aspects, and they would say, okay, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? And there we, they would not push for price only or for the delivery time only. And this is something where we need to do, and what we are doing, our job with the lists of the buyers, that we also educate the buyers around the globe that are already sourcing in India to stop pushing only for the price and the delivery time, because that's on our responsibility to say. And the regulations, the EU regulations, the regulations globally from the US, they are doing the rest, because at one point in time, either you stop production, or like production, I mean for selling products, they need to take the responsibility for the products that they sell. I'm talking about the brands now. And it's not that they can continue as they do, because then we have this overproduction, we have the landfill, we have the clothes that are not even worn and land in the landfill. I mean, what about this closed loop recycling end? So really, Bluesign is doing the educational job also for the brands.
Thank you.
We don't engage any third-party consultant on this, but directly Bluesign will do the service, right? Yeah, we'll do that service.
See, Bluesign is directly, there's no consultant is required.
We directly service you. We will be with you and get you prepared on this. No third-party consultant and unauthorized consultants are allowed. Yeah. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Very much.
And there the
Yeah,
SGS Corporation also is good, because SGS, they are 80%, they are our mother company, but the approach is a bit different. SGS is more into testing the end products, and Bluesign is about input stream management. So that's why we, since 25 years, Dr. Shaktivel mentioned it, we are cooperating with the chemical industry, and there are system partners in India from the chemical industry, for instance, Megmani, Resil. So there are some, and for us, it's input stream management, because same when you cook a meal, it matters the ingredients that you use. These matter. If you use ingredients that is not good, then the meal is most likely also not tasty or even digestible. So, but in that cooperation, when we talk about the impact service, we cooperate closely with the SGS assessors and offices, because there's so much manpower, and we need the manpower, obviously, to serve you in the best way. And we have already started training SGS assessors in JAIPUR to be ready to implement the Bluesign criteria and standards into the facilities, because they're, apart from our own people from Bluesign, we have the widespread support.
They were trained auditors already. And another thing I want to tell you, that why we selected Bluesign, of course they are commercial organization, but they are also socially responsible company. They want to do the service to the apparel sector or for any industry sector. They are socially wants to prove that they are also helping the save the earth. And especially as far as Catherine are concerned, she is there for 15 years, but she loves the job because she thinks that she is playing a very important role saving the earth.
Yeah, that's true. So I wouldn't work there for that long in that company if it would not be on my heart. So I'm really passionate about our environment, and especially about the people. I love people, and I love India. I said that to the team already. Since a child, I was reading like books about Indian girls and India and the fabrics, and it's really on my heart. That's why I'm passionate about India as well, and the people. And I'm again so pleased to be in Jaipur now with you.
Okay, I guess now everything is clear. Already we have the experts who has cleared everything through their speeches or their presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have huge round of applause for the expertise we have today? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's session, it is my honor to introduce Dr. Vijay Kumar Yadav ji, CEO of AMHSSC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, esteemed guests and all the industry leaders sitting here. We did had a very enlightening session today, and that is what is reflected out of the question and answers. It itself indicate to the seriousness of this particular topic. It is indeed a great honor to stand before you all today as we conclude what has been a significant and an inspiring event. The discussions and the exchanges of idea today on the integration of ESG principles within the textile industry have been nothing short of a transformative, and this would not have been possible without the contributions of each and every one of you. Forefront, I extend my deepest appreciation to our visionary chairman, Padma Shri Dr. Ek Shaktivel, for initiating this particular roadshow programs across 7 cities, and we are fortunate to have in the Jaipur in the mid of that. Sir, your guidance and commitment continues to inspire us to strive towards the excellence and in integrating the ESG principles into our industry. Thank you very much, sir, for all the guidance and the support for making this possible. My heartfelt thanks goes to our guest of honor, Shri Jahir Zakir Hussain साहब. आपने जो मुहिम आज एक चलाई है ट्रीज को प्लांट करने का, I think that is going to be having long lasting effect on the industry and the environment, sir. Thank you very much for giving your inspirational statement today. Your participation today has added immense value to our conversations, and we are grateful for your contribution in helping conducting this program today, sir. I must appreciate all the support your team has lended us in disseminating the information among the industry leaders, calling them for this program today. And the whole, I came to know that the whole team of the Gear has been working in the past few weeks just to make this program successful. I must extend my heartfelt thanks for that, sir. Also extend my sincere appreciation to the dynamic, our chief guest, Shri Ravi Podarji. He has been always so much indulging in the discussions and make which is a possibility in the future to be thought of now. So that is what his inspiration always have been. Your presence here has reinforced the importance of our shared vision, sir, and yeah, the implementation of the ethical practices in the industry are going to be very much possible under your dynamic leadership, sir. Thank you for your invaluable insights and for supporting this initiative from the core of my heart. And it is also heartening being the vice chairman of the ATDC committee. He has been very instrumental in guiding the ATDC into the development and the training work in the Jaipur. So I just came to know from his discussion that ATDC has set a very state-of-the-art training center under his leadership, and he is very much guiding them to explore new areas as well. And you'll be happy to know that he has been kind enough to support us, support our council in setting up so-called Center for Excellence, and that is going to be the first of its kind in this region, and that is going to come in Jaipur. I must commend his guidance for that. To my sincere appreciations goes to all the industry members, the leaders who have taken time. Right. Right. So I must name Mr. Chaturvedi ji, who is working from the APC team here. I had a privilege to meet you, sir, today. Thank you very much. My heartfelt gratitude goes to all the industry members who could take time out of their busy schedule today and making this interaction more fruitful. It is your engagement that will ensure the practical implementation of these ideas discussed today, and we are truly thankful to that. My gratitude could do a commendable job in organizing this program. Last but not the least, I will fail in my duty if I don't mention the core team of Gear and APC who have been supporting very diligently to my team at AMHSSC in making this program successful. May I request to give you a big applause for the team here. So my team members, Mr. Amit, Achal, and everyone have been so particular about making this program successful. I'm so grateful to see the result which is evident today. As we had already announced the e-course, e-learning course, which is going to commence from 3rd of September, I once again reiterate what the chairman and the chief guest has spelled out, that we should come out in good numbers to make this program successful and put up the foundation for the industry, which is much needed now. So only by the collective efforts we can make it more successful. While AMHSSC, in collaboration with our stakeholders and the partners, have been engaging into exploring these avenues for the industry, we are very happy to announce and inform you that on the skilling front, it has been doing uh, very doing the diligent activities to make the industry self-reliant and to help them in gaining the skilled workforce through the programs which involve both the training of a young person, the fresh person, always at the same time, also a person who already have the skills and want to upskill or reskill his aptitude or the learning. So those avenues our organization is providing, and there are various programs through which we reach out to the industry. And at this platform, I must admit the response which the industry gives, and that drives us in exploring new programs and convince the ministry in coming out with a program for the industries in some way in a better form. So at this platform, I must also request industries to have a better involvement as far as these programs are concerned, and so that the value which we can bring to the skilled workforce can be enhanced. So I can assure you on the behalf of my team sitting here that we do reach out to all the industry members either individually or through the associations such as Gear. So it becomes very imperative from at your part to get involved into these schemes to make the government's efforts materialize in a better way. Dear leaders, I must appreciate the apprenticeship program which is initiated by the government of India through the so-called NAPS, so National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, which is an add-on to the existing apprenticeship program, which has the Apprenticeship Act, which is going on since 1961. Just to give you just to give the incentivization to the industry, this program has gone through a sea change through various amendments through the gazette notifications. This particular scheme, the industries are benefited to an extent of rupees 1,500 per month, by which they have to give this amount less to an apprentice. So that means this difference amount which comes to the candidate, it is coming directly from the government of India. So as an industry, you have to pay the monthly stipend by less this amount by 1,500, and this difference amount, you would be happy to know that government has allocated almost 1,000 crore rupees just to be disbursed to the candidate through this DBT as a difference amount. So this amount is definitely is an indirect bonus to the industry by which they are paying less to an candidate, and the difference amount is coming from the government of India. So you'll be further happy to know that already 21 lakh apprentices have been aligned to take the benefit under this particular DBT program. So it is very high time that our textile and apparel industry should come forward and take the benefit out of this initiative of the government of India. Under the apprenticeship, it is very good point that you can take up to 15% of your workforce as an apprentice. अगर आपकी इंडस्ट्री में 100 लोग हैं तो आप उसका 15% मतलब 15 लोग एज एन अप्रेंटिस ओवर एंड अबव ले सकते हैं. So the advantage of that is that the apprentice is not at all considered as a worker. At the same time, you have a liberty at the end of the tenure, maybe 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months, to either retain the candidate apprentice or you can leave it. So that's not in compulsion. So that is another advantage, that you become more choosy. So when the industry becomes more choosy about their skilled labor, it is a win-win situation. So with these words, I will once again reiterate my point that the industry leaders should come forward for participation or active participation in the government skilling schemes, particularly the skill development, upskilling, and the apprenticeship program. In my closing, I would like to reiterate the importance of working collectively. As the textile industry evolves, it becomes imperative that we embrace sustainable practices, not just as a requirement, but as a choice. And that choice is basically to imbibe the core values in the generations to come. As our chairman said, that we should work it for the children. Hence, I urge everyone here to the e-course and be the building block of this initiative. Together, we can share a future, shape up a future where the textile industry not only thrives economically, but also contributes positively to the society and the environment, of course. Let's continue this journey with a determination and a shared vision for a sustainable future. Thank you once again for the participation and the dedication shown today. Please join us for the dinner as we continue to build the connections and explore ideas. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
My personal thanks to Jahir and Gear team, because today I'm seeing more than 130 participants, and also most of the exporters are here. I'm so overwhelmed with the response, and my real appreciation to Mr. Ravi to bring all of you here and for this important session. Big applause for the both of them.
सर हमने कुछ नहीं किया, आपका नाम ही इतना बड़ा है, आपके नाम की वजह से सारे एक्सपोर्टर आए हैं, है ना? थैंक यू टू ऑल, थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you, all the dignitaries member who are with us on the dais for today's useful session. Thank you so much, every individual whose effort made this event happen today evening. Thank you so much, everyone. This is done tonight. Dinner is all set. I request everyone to please have dinner. Thank you so much. Good night. This is your today's host, Anchor Ishika Sangwan.